I'm excited about the Z Fold 7 that's going to be coming out hopefully sometime next month. So I've been covering the Z Folds for a long time, ever since the first one. Z Fold, Z Fold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I got to be honest here. The last couple of ones haven't been very exciting because the Z Fold 6 has basically been the Z Fold 5, which is the 4, which is the 3, right? And we've had the same cameras for a while. There just hasn't been a whole lot of fundamental change when it comes to this phone, which is kind of frustrating because they did up the price to $18.99 this last go around. Of course, they did give us 7 years of support, which is nice if you believe 7 years will actually, like, one of these phones will last 7 years. But that's a whole other question. However, there hasn't been a whole lot of change. And this year, when it comes to the Z Fold 7, we're expecting tons and tons of change. And Samsung has been leaking out a lot of these teaser things over the last couple of weeks, showing off a silhouette with a little video, talking about adding the Ultra series features to the Z Fold. So I made a video last week talking about how Samsung basically kind of announced the Z Fold 7 Ultra. Now, I don't know if it's actually going to be called the Ultra, because it seems like we're still probably going to get one phone, but what they're doing undoubtedly is adding Ultra features to the Fold. So what does that mean? Well, we know we're going to get the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, which is going to be fantastic because, of course, it's done great in the S25 series. 45% more power efficient. It's more powerful. It's like just over a gigahertz more powerful in top end speed. It's supposed to be better for AI. It's supposed to be better for multitasking, better for basically everything with better heat. So yeah, that's a win-win. So going from the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 to the Elite, that's an expected upgrade, but it's a nice upgrade. But what we're talking about with Ultra features basically comes down to cameras. We know it's going to have Ultra cameras, and there's been a rumor on the street for the while it's going to be a 200 megapixel camera, which is pretty much in line with what the S25 Ultra is. So if we get the 200 megapixel camera in here, and hopefully they give it the new ultra wide that we got in the S25 Ultra series this last go around, that would be super nice, because one of the biggest complaints with the Z Fold for the longest time is like, okay, we're paying ultra prices, but we're not getting ultra quality cameras. So to bump that up, give us ultra quality cameras, that would be impressive. Hopefully they do something as well with the battery. I'd love to see a bigger battery. If we get a 4400 milliamp battery again, it would probably be mostly okay, just because we're getting a 40% more power efficient processor. So it would still lead to better battery life, even with the same size battery. But they got to give us bigger battery, honestly. Even if they go to like 4700 milliamp. But one of the big changes they're also making is we've seen from a lot of we've seen the official leaks and renders, well, unofficial, because I mean Samsung didn't leak them themselves. We know it's going to be the thinnest and the biggest foldable that we've ever seen from Samsung, and it's going to be based largely on the SE. So there's a Z Fold 6 last year, then they made the Z Fold SE. Now the Z Fold SE was only available in South Korea and in China, but they did give it a bigger screen. They did make it thinner, but it came at a cost. That cost being that it doesn't have S Pen support. And that's the one thing that concerns me. Like, I know I talk about this video. I'm excited about the Z Fold 7. I'm excited about it being a bigger screen. I'm excited about it being thinner. I'm excited about better cameras. I'm excited about better battery life. I'm excited about better performance. What I'm not excited about is the possibility that there could be no stylus. Now, there's two different ways to look at this, because basically, whenever it comes to the phone and it comes to the phone screen, they have what's called a digitizer. So you've got the top layer, and then underneath that is the digitizer that records the data as you touch it on the screen. You have to have a special one to take advantage of the S Pen. So use the S Pen. If there's no digitizer, it doesn't register the data. Just so like if you try to go use this on another phone, like, oh, why doesn't it pick up? That's why. So that adds, I guess, thickness, or at least complications to the thickness in the screen. So it makes it where we've had to have a traditionally thicker phone, which is one of the reasons why they've lagged behind the competition, because they want to offer the S Pen. There's rumors out there, and put an asterisk next to this, put a pin in it. We'll think about it. We're not going to say that this is a certainty. There may be some sort of a new S Pen that doesn't require that digitizer layer, that might have things built into the pen that registers the data and sends it to the phone. If they come up with, like, let's say a new S Pen Pro that will give us that flexibility and that functionality, that would be great, because I have to have an S Pen. It's funny. If I have the regular phone like the S25 Ultra, I don't use it that much because the screen is kind of narrow. If I have landscape that's this big, and if I have a screen that's going to be even bigger than this, with the Z Fold 7, it absolutely has to have an S Pen. I don't see the point in carrying around basically a portable tablet in your pocket and not have the ability to use an S Pen. So I hope they're working on something. I hope they're cooking up something in the lab to make up for that, because if they got to take out the digitizer, if they got to make it where there's no S Pen support built into the screen, they got to come up with a special S Pen. So I'm not going to get too upset about that one yet, because it's all just conjecture. It's all sitting here saying, okay, it could happen, it might not happen, we don't know. I just don't believe Samsung would do something like that. So we'll see what we get from that. But overall, I'm very excited because it's finally bringing us the changes that we've been asking for a long time. And I feel kind of like they pulled an Apple in this playbook, because Apple, it's like any feature you want from them, maybe it shows up 4 years after the time where you expected it to show up. Like, Apple is so slow to adopt anything new. Like, they're just so super slow. So usually it's like, okay, we should get it this time. We should get it this time. We should get it this time. And then by the time you basically already moved on and just accepted that it's not there, then they're like, oh yeah, we gave you this new feature and we'll charge you more money for it. So Samsung, they should have had a bigger screen. They should have adopted some of this stuff. They should have had a better camera a little while ago. And I think that turned a lot of people off when it came to the Z Fold 6, because if you had a Z Fold 5, there wasn't much reason to upgrade. If you had a Z Fold 4, there wasn't too much of a reason to upgrade, even though they were giving phenomenal trade-in deals. And I think that based off of last year, and maybe Samsung sees a cooling down in this market, of course, because it's very expensive. I was reading an article today saying that they're lowering the expectations for sales by, I think originally they were going to have like 1.38 million units between the Z Fold 7 and the Z Flip 7 that were manufactured in this initial run. And I think they dialed it back to like 1.18 million, at least according to what I was reading. So like a small cutback. But I think last year really was a reality check for Samsung. And they're like, look, we can only get away with selling the same thing for so long, and then people are just not going to buy it, especially when you're asking $1,900 for a phone, right? So I think that everything is kind of lined up really well for this year, so that we're going to get Ultra Series features, Ultra Series quality in the Fold. And then on top of that, bigger screen, thinner phone, lighter phone, a lot of things we've been asking for that we've been seeing from a lot of other foldable phones in the market or outside the US, and then hopefully somehow retain that S Pen functionality. I think it's a recipe for success, and it's something that I'm excited about. I mean, I've been excited about the foldable phone since the very first one, and here we are on the 7th generation later, 7th iteration of the Fold. I think it's going to be exciting. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if this is something you're interested in. If you held off last year, I want to talk about this stuff because I kind of want to get a good feel for it. If you're a Fold customer, have you been holding off the last couple of years because the phones have been basically the same? Or is it something else? I don't know. But I'm curious to see if you would be interested in this new Ultra level series Z Fold 7, if y'all are as excited as I am, because I think it's finally going to bring the changes we've been asking for, and I think that's good. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all those things, of course, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.